Hey there, it's the last chance to finish your Christmas designs very soon. We'll be moving into 2024. So today I'm going to show you how you can convert a simple illustration into a custom brush in Affinity. I'm going to use Affinity Designer, but the brush will be universal. You can use it across the family in Affinity Photo and Publisher as well. So let's take a look. I already draw something here in Designer, but as it is right now, it will be really hard to use. So I draw some Christmas lights, really simple design. But if I want to use that, I need to like duplicate this, maybe wrap, bend, stuff like that. It will be really tough to use it with ease. So what we can do is we can turn those objects into brush. So then we can apply the brush effect on our vector line, and it should look just like our Christmas lights. A bit of disclaimer first: there's no true vector brush in Affinity Designer. What they mean by vector brush is the path, the line is vector base, but the brush we apply at the top of the line is raster base. All right, so if your goal is to make 100% vector illustration for some reason, that would be not for you. And there's actually no other way around this in Affinity Designer. So all of those brushes here in the brush panel, all of that stuff, and even the tool they name, wait for it, vector brush tool, they're all raster base. Okay, so what they mean by vector brush tool is we make a line, the curve is vector, so we can modify the curve anytime without any problems. That's nice, but keep in mind the brush at the top of the curve, that's a raster effect. All right, enough technicalities, let's get started. So the first one, I'm going to select this object, and then I will need to export this as PNG so that I can re-import that as a brush. All right, so let's go for File and Export. What you want to export is not the whole document, so if it's whole document selected by default, I change to selection only. Here it is. Let's save it as a PNG. Alright, I will do the same thing with the second one and the third one. So we got 3 PNGs, and now in the layer panel, you need to switch to the next active panel. It should be the brush panel next to your layers. If you cannot see your brushes here, go to Window and be sure that are turned on here. Alright, so I got my brushes here, and now I can click the menu and I can add a brush, but take a look, there are 3 options: new solid brush, new texture intensity brush, and new texture image brush, and I'm going to use the last option in this case. So new texture image brush, and now I pick my PNG. Alright, there is something here. Let's add, you know what? Let's create a new category for it. So I will delete this guy. Let's start with the clean category so I can export that and just give you this whole brush set with the easy download. So let's create a new category. Alright, so we go for Christmas lights. And take a look, we got a blank page here in the brushes. You can still go back to the default brushes. We got Xmas lights, and now I can do the very same thing. A new brush from the image, image 1, a new brush from the image again, image 2, and then the third one. Unfortunately, that's not all. We need to adjust settings for those brushes. So let's draw some line just for testing. So I will scroll up a bit, and I will use maybe pen tool to make some simple line like that. First line without any brush on it, maybe some kind of oval as well. That's a good way to test the brush as well. Okay, and now if I click my line and then click the brush from the menu here, take a look, that's really ugly. So let's double click the brush and adjust that. We don't want to stretch the body of the brush, we want to repeat. So that's the first change. Then we need to decide on which is the point when we're going to separate and repeat again. In this case, that should be the bulb here. Alright, that's better. We can customize the default size of it a bit. Alright, no pressure for this brush, and I click close. It's a bit better, but as you can see, it's black because I put the black color on this line. If I get rid of the color, you will get a default color of the brush, so it will be colorful. We can increase the size from here, and this way we can end up with a nice Christmas brush. And it's really easy to change the direction, to modify it. Take a look. Keep in mind, sometimes the ends of the brush may glitch, but that's how it is with this kind of hybrid brush. We got a vector path and we're putting a raster image on the top. Luckily, the raster PNG I have prepared got very high resolution, so we can scale this up without making this pixelated and blurry. Alright, so that's what it is. We can use the vector path and put some kind of raster on it, and that's called a vector brush in Affinity Designer. Alright, so let's test it here. Alright, and again, you can change the color here, but this one you override the whole color. So if I put color into the line, I override the whole color. We don't want to do that. We just want to put no color so I can see the original color behind the brush. Alright, and take a look, it's really stretched here. We already changed settings for the brush, so let's double check. It's repeat, so that's fine. Let's change to overlap maybe here, or fold in the corners, but that should not affect the circle. So I really wonder why this one, it's really ugly. Maybe I stretched it by mistake. Let's draw a new. Alright, way better. So I modify the shape and it's kind of freak out the brush because I stretch it back and forward without scaling this nicely. Alright, we got way better result now with brand new circle. So the brush is working, and as I mentioned, I will export those brushes, and I will also give you this source file, so we can actually modify those light colors. I already show you how to make a brush, so you know how to do it yourself, so you can create multiple brushes out of those three, and you can draw your own as well. Alright, we got few more brushes, right? We fixed the first one, we made the first one. How about the second one? Let's try with the second one this time. Alright, and again, same problem, we didn't set up the brush just yet, so no color in it. And then double tap on the brush here in the brush section. We need to scale it up a bit, but also we want to repeat it. We don't want this to stretch, so we want to repeat this brush. We can do it both. We can do it like that precisely, or you can go and cut it here. This one we will lose some colors, but it should also work out. Okay. So as you can see, this is also a vector path. I can modify the path, and I got brush on it with some Christmas lights. It's not perfect, as I mentioned, because it's a hybrid option, but I think it's good enough for most of us. All right. And the last one, let's check the last one. Again, very ugly at first, but we can customize it by changing stretch to repeat. And then we will repeat it on this red point here. Let's increase the default size. This one turns out really nice because it's the blur one. It's not easy to spot any glitches here, so I think this one is really nice. I really like it. You can change the size of it from here as well. You don't need to only modify the size of the brush, you can modify the size of the stroke that's affecting the brush itself. Alright, so we turn those three elements into proper image brushes. As I mentioned, image brush is 2-in-1. We follow the vector path, but the image at the top is a raster base. Alright, I'm going to export those brushes and save this document so you can download this. There'll be a link in the description to my Gumroad. Just put $0 as the price and you can download this for free like always. Thank you for today. Merry Christmas, and I hope you have wonderful winter season time with your family. I will see you next time. Bye.